everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I'm outside Stamford Bridge with Jacob after a 2-2 draw against Ipswich in the Premier League. Jacob, how do you describe that game and how do you feel about Chelsea as it stands right now?
Yeah, I mean...
Because last game I spoke to you at Brentford, you said fans should stop complaining. Do you still feel that way?
I mean, I didn't say it like that. I more meant that people need to kind of, people are exaggerating a bit. And to be fair, I don't know, I think it's really frustrating. I think we're in a place that no one wants to be. The owners don't want to be in here, the managers, and let alone the fans. We don't want to be in a situation. But I personally think that having a moan at the football's usual, you can be winning 3-0 and you'll do that. But I think the thing is, just screaming at your players, don't forget they're young children, some of them. I don't think sometimes going at your players and swearing constantly at your players is really the answer. That's what I was trying to say, I mean, yeah. But I thought today we wasn't, first 20 minutes, kind of controversial. I thought we were one of the best starts we've had this season.
I have to admit, Jacob, I'm inclined to agree with you because I do think that we created an awful lot of chances to score and we just didn't have that final product. All the momentum was with us.
It was almost like that England thing. You think we're going to do it and then straight back down Mount Everest, and then we fell. After the first goal, I was even saying I think we played quite well. That's the irony of it. Then just Maresca started playing a bit defensive. When we did go, we were making risks, not really much though. And then it went 2-0, and then their fans, fair enough to them, they were really loud. There are a bus stop in Suffolk. That's my new little Ipswich town thing, bus stop in Suffolk. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great save. Sancho, what a goal, fantastic finish. It's simple as.
No, it was a great goal. It was a great goal. And to be fair, I mean, I've been very critical of Maresca. Obviously, he deserves a lot of blame because we did drop the points, but he made the substitution.
I don't know if that substitution necessarily flipped the game. And even though, obviously, I've said I'm not Maresca out, I do think, why did you bring Jackson off, 2 minutes towards the end of the game and bringing Kunku on? I'm not saying we would have won the game, but you never know. And Kunku, he's been one of our worst players this season. In my opinion, you could argue the worst. So,
why do you think he did it then? Why do you think he brought in Kunku on?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to get my head around. I was talking to some people. I said maybe they want to rest Jackson, but then they were probably going to rest him for Europe. What was it? It doesn't really add up to me. I don't know if you can get your head around it better than I can. Maybe you can, but I don't know. What do you think?
About the decision to bring on Nkunku or Maresca as a whole? Listen, I think Maresca is a championship level manager. We're going to have to move our camera. We're going to have to move our cameraman. We've got to move the camera.
Do you think that's why he brought on Nkunku? I think most championship managers wouldn't.
Father, can you pick up the bag?
So maybe there's something to do. Maybe it's something else we don't know. I don't think he's got a knock, but I'm just trying to think of all the potential possibilities.
I honestly think it was tactical, and I think that says it all.
Tactical what, bringing a striker off?
Yes.
When it's 2-2.
Just like it was tactical playing a right back, playing a centre back as a right back when you had 3 potential right backs on the bench.
You know what, right.
I think it was tactical.
I'm very happy they didn't put James at left back. That's what I thought he was going to do. So we're up.
Well, I mean, Cucurella was responsible for 2 of the goals. I mean, he had a part to play, but he did score one of our goals as well.
Yeah, I know. I think he was actually given us a own goal by Tuanzebe.
Was it?
Yeah. By the way, is an actually pretty decent player on their day. A lot of their players are. On their day, they're fantastic. But when it's not their day, which is 80% of the time, they're meh for Premier League. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think Caicedo was great today. People are comparing him to Rodri. I don't personally think he's that good. I think he's fantastic. But I feel like if everyone played in that second half if Caicedo was a bit better in the second half, maybe a bit more at the back, maybe a bit more creativity in times, but we were creative. Maybe a bit more in product from Palmer. Then we could have won. But and by the way, we haven't scored in the first half 300, 400 minutes.
Really? It's been that long?
I know.
That's an interesting stat.
I mean, it is.
Where did you read that? Just online?
Yeah.
All right,
I heard it yesterday, but And also, I had a couple of lads saying it behind me. So
Let me ask you this. So when you see Robert Sanchez, our goalkeeper, and then you see Ipswich's goalkeeper, Palmer, a backup keeper, Palmer, and you contrast the performances of today, how do you describe or differentiate the two of them? How are they different?
Sanchez kept giving the ball away. Alex Palmer gave the ball away a couple of times, but he was very good at saving, good at like. So I think they're actually kind of similar keepers in some respects. Look, Sanchez was not good today, but I don't think screaming at him every single time and swearing at him all the time is the answer. That's my opinion.
What's the answer?
The managers to sort it out, maybe to cheer the players on more. But it is hard at the same time to cheer someone that's constantly giving the ball away and making mistakes. So I do get it from both sort of points of view. He definitely hasn't been great this season. Even Jorgensen, really.
But Jorgensen hasn't been given a proper chance. That's the frustrating thing for me.
I don't know.
He was given a couple of games, Jacob. He wasn't even given a proper run.
I do think Sanchez is maybe a slightly better player, but the thing is, we don't need to be talking about this. We need to be talking about what keeper should we actually bring in. Because
Petrovic.
Yeah, but he doesn't really suit his system, though.
Of course it does. He plays in a similar system at Strasbourg. It's actually exciting football at Strasbourg, from what I'm aware.
Yeah, but do you know Sanchez, before he came to Chelsea, was known as one of the best keepers playing out the back in the league. That's just That's just why I'm like, is it his fault or is it our fault? Or is it a bit of both? I think it's a bit of both. Yeah. But either way, mate, I've had enough of Sanchez, kind of had enough of Jorgensen. We need to buy a new keeper. But they'd rather waste money on players that are, I don't know. Like, even though signing Palmer was fantastic, the likelihood of him being as good as he was low. So I was after that saying, well, even though I'm happy we signed him, technically it was more luck that he ended up being what he was. Yeah. Because 90% of the time he probably would have been sold off, maybe even for a bit less money, and just. But at least it's turned out well. I mean, I don't trust the process, but get on with the process. Don't want to get on with it. Don't get on with it. But sometimes, do you know what? I'm so exhausted. But do you know what? Right? Cheer our team on. Chelsea have never been just at the top, have we? Let's be fair. Like, we've been up and down, kind of. Like, we've never been a team where we've won the league 10 years in a row. Like 4 years in a row. Like, but we want Chelsea to be like we were, because it doesn't feel like Chelsea anymore, does it? However, people were saying about the old days where even we weren't at this level, but it feels like we're worse than we were.
Cool, mate.
Oh, that's. But yeah, it just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like we're where we are on the table. It feels like we're lower. But then at the start of the season, we were in the title race. No one needs to deny that. So you can understand why. But last results haven't been great. Haven't even been that bad. But do you know what? Right? We went. I'm just happy that we started off kind of well, but we need a bit more in product times, because how much chance have we had? Even in the first 15 minutes, you could argue, sort of second half, should have probably been 3-2. Do you agree? But I thought
in the second half, we probably did deserve that second goal. To be fair, the third goal.
I do think Ipswich definitely brought something to us today, and I think that actually.
You think they deserve some credit?
For what they are. Let's be honest, they're probably going down. I mean, look, not every team can be a top team. Not every team can be Real Madrid, Barcelona. Well, no teams in England can even be. So, and fair enough to their fans, they were quite good today. And obviously it was a big day for them. But, I mean, all you can sort of do is go home and reflect. It is a frustrating one.
Go home and do some homework or something like that to get your mind off it.
Homework?
Yeah, to get your mind off the result.
I've always played a gaming tournament or something. That's what I normally do.
You don't do your homework?
I do, but I haven't even done it yet. But it's Easter break, so I'll give myself a week. And no one can sing School in the Morning anymore. Get in there. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas? Why? Because we gave...
Happy Christmas, Father. Happy Christmas, Alex. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Because we gifted Ipswich 2 points, is that why?
No, because there's no school in the morning.
Fair enough.
Yeah. something to get your mind off this terrible performance.
There you go. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks, mate.
Pleasure.